Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to look at yourself in the mirror of your heart tonight. Ask yourself, am I holding on to something that no longer serves me? Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a friendship, maybe it's an expectation. Whatever it is tonight, I'm here to tell you it's time to let go. Time to detach, not because you don't care, but because you care about yourself. And self-care is not selfish, it's sacred. Acknowledge your feelings. Start by acknowledging your feelings. Don't run from them. Don't pretend everything's fine when your heart knows the truth. Feeling pain, anger, or sadness doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. Name the emotion. Sit with it. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Until you acknowledge the truth of where you are, you cannot move forward. Freedom starts with honesty. Accept what you cannot control. I need you to understand something. You don't own the choices of others. You don't own their past, their decisions, or their hearts. You own your response. You own your healing. You own your peace. And when you detach, you let go because you realize that control is an illusion. True power comes from letting go, not from holding on. Set healthy boundaries. Boundaries are not barriers. Boundaries are bridges to self-respect. They say, I love myself enough to protect my peace. They say, I deserve space, respect, and clarity. Sometimes detaching means having difficult conversations. Sometimes it means walking away, not in defeat, but in triumph. Boundaries preserve your dignity in your heart. Focus on your well-being. Your well-being is your responsibility, not just your physical health, but your emotional and mental stability. Ask yourself, am I nurturing myself or depleting myself? Your journey is about healing, not harming. Self-care is not just bubble baths and candles, it's discipline. It's choosing what lifts your spirit and rejecting what dims your light. Practice forgiveness, letting go of resentment. Forgiveness is not about the other person, it's about you. Forgiveness is freedom. Resentment, that only weighs you down. It steals your energy, your peace, and your joy. Forgive not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to be free. You deserve to walk through this life with lightness, with grace, with peace. Redirect your energy toward growth. Redirect your energy to something that nurtures your soul. Invest in your education, your creativity, your dreams. If you're detached, be detached to create, to build, to grow. Let your past fuel your future, not your wounds, but your wisdom. Let every setback become a setup for your comeback. Surround yourself with supportive people. Look around you. Are the people in your circle lifting you up or tearing you down? Surround yourself with people who see your value, who encourage your purpose, and who remind you of your potential. You deserve a community that builds, not one that breaks. Find your tribe, a tribe that fights for your joy, not against it. Commit to your journey of detachment. This is not a one-time choice, it's a commitment. A commitment to your journey, your peace, and your strength. Detaching is not about severing ties, it's about clarifying them. It's about standing tall in your convictions, in your boundaries, and in your love for yourself. Say to yourself, I choose peace. I choose clarity. I choose growth. Let go, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Let go, not because you're giving up, but because you're stepping up. You're stepping into a version of yourself that is stronger, wiser, and free. Believe this, the best is yet to come. You are meant for more than holding on to what diminishes you. You are meant to walk in purpose and power and in love. You are meant to be free. Let go, step up, and trust your destiny is waiting. Thank you. I want to start by saying something that may seem simple, but is often the hardest thing to do. Acknowledge your feelings. Yes, I said acknowledge, not push away, not bury, not mask, but acknowledge. So many of us walk around with walls around our hearts, putting on a brave face, smiling in the daylight while our inner world is filled with confusion, pain, and doubt. We do this because we think that acknowledging our feelings makes us weak, vulnerable, or even unworthy. But let me tell you something, it makes you real. It makes you strong. It makes you human. You see, your feelings are not your enemies. They are messengers. Pain is a messenger. Sadness is a messenger. Anger is a messenger. Each of these emotions has something to teach you, but you have to stop long enough to listen. You have to stop long enough to say, I see you, I hear you, I feel you, I feel you. Maybe you're holding on to the hurt caused by someone you love deeply. Maybe you're carrying anger that gnaws at your peace every single day. Or maybe it's the fear of change, the fear of letting go, the fear of standing alone. Whatever it is, I ask you now, can you admit it? Can you admit that it hurts? Can you admit that it hurts? Can you admit that you're afraid? Can you admit that letting go feels like a battle you don't know how to win? Admitting your feelings doesn't mean giving into them. And to them, it doesn't mean letting them control your life. No, it means acknowledging that they are there, honoring their truth, and taking responsibility for your own healing. When you acknowledge your feelings, you stop letting them fester in silence. You bring them into the light, and the light, my people, is where healing begins. It's where strength is born. Think about it this way, you cannot heal what you refuse to acknowledge. If you pretend everything is fine, if you shove your feelings into the background, you're only delaying your own progress. Those feelings don't disappear, they grow. They eat at your joy, erode your self-confidence, and steal your peace. But when you look at them, really look at them, something changes. You stop running, you stop hiding, and you start standing. You begin to see that every emotion, no matter how difficult, has a purpose. Sadness teaches you about loss and growth. Anger teaches you about boundaries and respect. Fear teaches you about courage. Each feeling, each emotion is a chance to learn, to grow, and to choose what kind of life you want to create for yourself. So I encourage you with all the love I have in my heart to stop and say, I feel this, I see it, I acknowledge it. And I'm still here, I'm still standing, I'm still fighting for myself. You owe it to yourself to feel what you feel. You owe it to yourself to heal from it, to let go of what no longer serves you, not just for others, but for you. Your feelings are not your enemies, they are your guides, your teachers, and ultimately your keys to transformation. Acknowledge them, embrace them. And in doing so, let yourself step into a new reality, a reality where you are not a prisoner of your emotions, but a master of your journey. A reality where you are free. When you truly want to let go and heal, you have to learn one of the hardest lessons of all: accept what you cannot control. This is not just a cliche, it's a cornerstone of your freedom. It's about recognizing that there are things in life, people, and situations that you simply don't have power over, and that's okay. In fact, it's necessary. Accepting what you cannot control is not about giving up. It's about finding the strength to let go, to release what binds you, and to open yourself up to possibilities you never imagined. So many of us spend our time and energy trying to control outcomes, trying to shape reality according to our desires, clenching our fists around situations that refuse to bend to our will. We control conversations, relationships, jobs, expectations, and when things don't go as planned, we are left with disappointment, frustration, and a deep sense of helplessness. But here's the truth: you can't control someone else's heart. You can't control someone else's choices. You can't control what happens in tomorrow or what happened in yesterday. What you can control is your response, your mindset, your choices, your peace. Let me ask you, how much of your life are you willing to sacrifice trying to control things that are beyond your influence? How much energy are you willing to invest in battles that aren't yours to win? You see, control is a mirage. It promises certainty but delivers chaos. It promises stability but often ends in turmoil. But when you let go of the need to control what can't be controlled, you open up a new space, the space of clarity, acceptance, and inner peace. Acceptance is not about settling for less. It's about embracing reality as it is so you can begin to move forward. It's about saying, I don't have power over this, but I do have power over how I let it affect me. I have power over my peace. I have power over my heart. I have power over my purpose. When you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, you start to focus your energy where it really matters, on your growth, your resilience, and your capacity to adapt. Think about the winds. The wind doesn't ask why it blows. It doesn't try to change its course. It just moves, it flows, and it adapts. And in its adaptation, it shapes landscapes, carves canyons, and changes the course of rivers. It teaches us that there is strength and flexibility, power and acceptance, and transformation and surrender. Nature, in its quiet wisdom, shows us that letting go does not mean defeat. It means becoming adaptable, becoming powerful and resilient, and finding beauty in the journey rather than just the destination. It's time for us to stop fighting life's uncontrollable currents with our hands and start navigating it with our hearts. Let go of the need to control how someone else sees you. Let go of the need to dictate outcomes that are out of your hands. Let go of expectations that are holding you hostage. Instead, ask yourself, what can I do right now? How can I respond to this with courage, with dignity, with wisdom? Acceptance empowers you. It frees you to make choices for your peace, your purpose, and your potential. Setting healthy boundaries is not about shutting people out or building walls around your heart. It's about creating a sanctuary inside yourself where your peace, your dignity, and your purpose reside. It's about honoring yourself enough to say, I deserve respect, I deserve love, I deserve clarity, and I will protect my heart, my time, and my energy because I owe that to myself. Healthy boundaries are not about isolation. They are about connection to your truth, to your purpose, and to the life you want to build for yourself. Far too many of us have been conditioned to believe that setting boundaries is selfish. But let me remind you that neglecting your boundaries is the real act of selfishness. It's a betrayal of self-love. When you don't set boundaries, you allow others' needs, expectations, and desires to take precedence over your own well-being. You allow your energy to be depleted, your heart to be compromised, and your inner voice to be silenced. But you have a responsibility not just to others, but first and foremost to yourself to protect your well-being. You owe it to yourself to stand firm in your truth and to safeguard your energy with wisdom and grace. Setting healthy boundaries means having the courage to say no without guilt. It means knowing that saying no is not an act of rejection, but an act of love. Love for yourself, love for your time, love for your future. When you say no, you're making room for what truly matters. You're saying yes to your dreams, yes to your growth, yes to your sanity, and yes to your inner light. Every no you speak is a yes to your purpose, a commitment to your peace, and a declaration of your strength. Sometimes setting boundaries means walking away from relationships that drain you rather than uplift you. Sometimes it means having difficult conversations where you stand your ground with respect and honesty, even when it's uncomfortable. It's about speaking your truth even when your voice shakes, because silence would mean accepting less than you deserve. Healthy boundaries are not about creating division. They are about nurturing relationships by making sure they are built on mutual respect, honesty, and integrity. Think of your boundaries as the walls of your emotional house. You wouldn't leave your doors open to just anyone, would you? You wouldn't let anyone walk in and out without consideration. Your heart, your time, and your spirit deserve that same protection. It's about knowing who you let in and what you allow to stay. Surround yourself with people who uplift your spirit, who celebrate your victories, and who stand with you, not against you. Those are the people who honor your boundaries because they respect your heart. Setting boundaries also means knowing when to step back and when to step forward. It means discerning what's worth your energy and what isn't. Ask yourself, does this relationship bring me peace or does it bring me stress? Does this job, this friendship, this commitment align with my goals and my purpose, or is it a distraction from the life I want to create? Ask these questions not with judgment, but with clarity. Every choice you make about where to invest your energy shapes the future you're building. It takes courage to set boundaries. It takes strength to walk away from what no longer serves you, but it takes an even greater strength to stand firm. When I speak about focusing on your well-being, I'm not just talking about your body, I'm talking about your heart, your mind, your spirit, and your entire life. I'm talking about honoring yourself so deeply that your commitment to your well-being becomes the foundation upon which everything else in your life is built. You see, focusing on your well-being is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's the bedrock of your strength, your resilience, and your ability to stand tall even when life knocks you down. It's about making a choice every day to prioritize yourself, not because you don't care about others, but because if you're not well, if your spirit is broken, if your heart is exhausted, then how can you truly show up for anyone else? Far too often we put ourselves last. We pour into others, into jobs, into relationships, into expectations until we have nothing left to give. We give our time, our energy, and our love until we are empty. But here's the hard truth: you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot give your best self to the world, to your family, to your purpose if you are running on fumes. You owe it to yourself to fill your cup first. You owe it to yourself to invest in your well-being, to protect your inner peace, and to create a life where you thrive, not just survive. Focusing on your well-being means listening to your body when it speaks. It means resting when you need rest and working when you have energy, not because someone expects it, but because you choose it. It means eating food that nourishes you, moving in ways that bring you strength, and sleeping with a sense of purpose. It means acknowledging when you're tired and giving yourself permission to stop. This isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Strength lies in knowing your limits and respecting your boundaries and in committing to your own health as fiercely as you commit to anything else in your life. But your well-being is not just about your physical health, it's about your emotional and mental resilience too. It's about refusing to let toxic thoughts take up residence in your mind. It's about choosing thoughts of love over thoughts of fear, thoughts of possibility over thoughts of limitation. Every time you choose to believe in yourself, to speak kindly to yourself, to silence your inner critic with the voice of compassion, you are investing in your well-being. You are strengthening your foundation. Your inner world becomes a place of refuge, a source of power, and a wellspring of clarity and purpose. Focusing on your well-being means setting boundaries to protect your emotional space. It means being honest about what brings you peace and what brings you chaos. If someone or something in your life brings more harm than good, more stress than calm, more confusion than clarity, ask yourself, is this really worth it? And if the answer is no, make the difficult but necessary choice to walk away. Protect your heart. Respect your time. Honor your energy. It also means celebrating your victories no matter how small. The world will keep moving, challenges will keep coming, and people will have expectations, but your well-being flourishes when you celebrate your progress. Every step you take, every milestone you reach, every moment you spend moving closer to your purpose, acknowledge it, honor it. You owe yourself that recognition because each victory, each moment of progress is a testament to your resilience, your courage, and your commitment to yourself. Focus on your well-being because you deserve to live a life of balance, of joy, of inner peace, and of purpose. You deserve to wake up each day feeling strong, clear, and ready to take on whatever comes your way, not out of obligation, but out of choice. The choice to thrive, to grow, to heal, and to rise. When you prioritize yourself, when you make your well-being a commitment rather than an afterthought, you become unstoppable. You become a beacon of light for others, showing that self-care is not about selfishness, it's about strength, resilience, and clarity. You become someone who lifts others up not because you're perfect, but because you've committed to rising again and again in the face of difficulty, in the face of setbacks, and in the face of every challenge. Focus on your well-being because you owe it to yourself. You owe it to your dreams. You owe it to your future. You owe it to the incredible potential that lies within you, the potential to love deeper, to achieve more, and to stand taller than you ever thought possible. You owe it to your life. So choose yourself not just today, but every day. Choose your well-being, and in doing so, choose a life that is powerful, purposeful, and beautifully yours. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful acts of love you will ever give, not just to others, but to yourself. When I speak about forgiveness, I'm not just talking about letting someone off the hook or excusing their actions. I'm talking about setting yourself free. I'm talking about unburdening your heart, releasing the chains of resentment that hold you back, and finding the courage to walk away from anger and bitterness. Forgiveness is not a gift you give to someone else, it is a liberation you give to yourself. It is a choice you make, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to live with peace, clarity, and emotional freedom. Resentment is like a poison. It seeps into your thoughts, your heart, and your soul, eroding your inner strength and robbing you of your joy. It binds you to the past, anchoring your spirit to the wounds and hurts that prevent you from moving forward. Holding on to resentment is like carrying a heavy burden every single day. It weighs you down, clouds your vision, and steals your energy. But when you practice forgiveness, you stop carrying that burden. You let go. You release. And in that release, you open the door to healing, growth, and possibility. Forgiveness doesn't mean you forget the lessons that pain taught you. It doesn't mean you condone the hurtful actions or erase the truth of your experiences. No, forgiveness means that you choose to stop letting that pain control your present. You choose to stop allowing someone's mistakes, someone's wrongs to dictate your peace of mind and your emotional well-being. Forgiveness is about reclaiming your power, not in retaliation or anger, but in strength, wisdom, and grace. Think about the energy it takes to hold on to anger. How much of your time, your mental space, and your emotional resources are consumed by resentment? What could you do if you reclaimed all of that energy? You could pursue your dreams, you could build relationships that uplift and inspire, you could grow, learn, and become the best version of yourself. You could stand tall with clarity, purpose, and a heart that is unshackled by the past. That is what forgiveness offers you, the chance to reclaim your energy, your peace, and your life. Forgiveness is also about self-compassion. Sometimes we need to forgive ourselves first. We need to let go of guilt, shame, and self-blame. We need to acknowledge that we too have made mistakes, that we too have fallen short, stumbled, and hurt others. Forgiving ourselves allows us to heal internally, to stop being our own worst critics, and to start being our own advocates. It allows us to grow from our mistakes rather than being destroyed by them. When you forgive yourself, you open your heart to self-love. You remind yourself that you deserve compassion, patience, and the chance to move forward unencumbered by self-inflicted chains. Forgiveness is not about weakness, it is about strength. It takes incredible courage to let go of resentment. It takes strength to walk away from the comfort of anger and bitterness, to choose peace instead of conflict, to choose love instead of division. But it is in this choice, in this courageous act of letting go, that you find true empowerment. You find resilience. You find inner peace that no external circumstance can shake. I want you to ask yourself, what am I holding on to that no longer serves me? What resentment is preventing? Forgiveness is not just a choice, it is a lifeline. It is a lifeline to your own peace, your own joy, and your own capacity to love, to grow, and to rise above. When I speak about forgiveness, I'm not just talking about letting someone else off the hook. I'm not talking about forgetting the harm they caused or pretending like it never happened. No, forgiveness is a radical act of self-love. It's about releasing yourself from the prison of resentment that keeps your heart heavy and your spirit shackled. It's about giving yourself permission to heal, to move forward, and to reclaim your inner freedom. Resentment is like a stone in your pocket that you've been carrying around for far too long. At first, it feels like you're holding on to it because you owe it to your hurt feelings, like you owe it to your anger. Like letting go would mean accepting the wrongs committed against you, as if that hurt could just vanish. But what you're really doing is allowing that resentment to rob you of your time, your energy, and your emotional clarity. It creeps into your thoughts, it clouds your judgment, and it steals your ability to experience happiness. When you hold on to resentment, you're giving someone else power over your emotional state. But why would you do that? Why would you let someone else's choices dictate your inner world? Forgiveness is about taking your power back. It's about standing tall and saying, I will not let this pain, this anger, or this resentment define who I am. I will not let it control my future or rob me of the joy I deserve. Forgiveness is not about weakness, it is about courage. It takes a strong heart to let go of resentment. It takes bravery to face the hurt, to see it for what it is, and to make a conscious decision to let it go. It's about saying goodbye to the anger that lives in your chest and choosing instead the path of clarity, resilience, and inner strength. Letting go of resentment means freeing yourself to love more deeply. When you hold on to anger and bitterness, your heart is closed, your spirit is guarded. But forgiveness opens you up. It opens your heart to empathy, to understanding, to compassion. You start to see people not just as sources of pain, but as human beings, flawed and imperfect, just like you. Forgiveness allows you to acknowledge that we all make mistakes. We all stumble. We all hurt others, sometimes without even realizing it. And when you extend forgiveness, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to let go, you heal. You find peace. You find the space to grow beyond what hurts you too. So I leave you with this: forgiveness is not a destination, it's a journey. It's a choice you make not once, but over and over every single day. It's about committing to a path where you choose inner peace over inner warfare, love over resentment, and growth over stagnation. Forgiveness doesn't mean the hurt never happened. It means you are no longer willing to let that hurt have power over your present or your future.